Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back.
He's the original.
Hi, I'm Tommy.
Child's Play 2.
What's up, and thank you for tuning in to today's special video. At least it's special to me, because today we are finally going to be taking a look at what is currently the latest and last from Trick or Treat Studios' 1-to-1 scale Chucky line. Today is the full review for the ultimate head and hand set for Tommy. Now, I've already taken a look at the pizza face head that got released with this as well. Already done a review of that. Feel free to check that out if you haven't seen it. And also, we've covered the ultimate Chucky here in the past. So today we're really going to be focusing on him, how he interacts with the ultimate package that we have so far, and pretty much is kind of why I think they might have saved the best for last on this one. And so we're going to start this by taking a look at something that we kind of skipped while taking a look at the pizza face in his video. We're going to be taking a look at the box. Now, the real reason I want to cover the box here is because I did kind of gloss over it in the pizza face. In the unboxing, I did kind of talk about the boxes more, but I just kind of want to highlight that I do think it's really cool that these come with an open window for the heads. You can actually see them when they're in the package. So I just think they look really nice, and I think that's really great for in-box collectors because, you know, the Chucky boxes, they all look really good stacked up. They look really good on shelves, however you have them displayed. So if you display your stuff in the box, this is still going to, you know, show that window really nice. It's got the really pretty Child's Play 2 logo on this, and also the fun thing about this is you can see the original shots they had. So the original solicitation shots. Again, like, Tommy is one that I think is probably the closest to the solicitations that, at least as far as images, the way he came out, and it's, you know, it's for the better. And so here we can compare it with one of the solicitation images on the back of the box, you know, so we have, like, you know, what was advertised compared to what we actually got, and I think this is very, very close, you know, especially to some of the other images we have. This one kind of has the hand obstructing the face, and the lighting is off, but I think this is really, really good comparatively. And here's got these nice portraits on either side of the box. Again, it's just a box, but I like covering it, because some people are really all about the box, but that is the box. Alright, so one thing that this thing already has going for it over the pizza face, now it's not a comparison, they're much different looks, but one thing that this as a set has already over the pizza face is the fact that he actually retained his hands from solicitation. So this actually is a head and hand set for Ultimate Chucky, it's not just the head. And that is him coming with these two here. So he comes with some actual good guy doll hands to actually interchange onto the Ultimate Chucky, so you don't have to use like the actual live Chucky hands. I think they probably could have gotten away if, you know, they never would have advertised these or shown them. People probably still would have bought this and just used it with the regular hands, but I think these are a really nice touch because it kind of turns the Ultimate Chucky doll completely into a good guy doll, if you like that. It really is kind of just the full package, so these are just a great inclusion right off the bat. And you can see that these hands have some really great detailing in them. They actually have like some knuckle wrinkles on them that go up the finger and the actual like lines for the fingernails. So that seems like it's kind of indented there. Really kind of seems like it's painted, at least as far as the outline of the nail. One thing it's a little odd is it's only the underline for the nail, and you really can't tell too often. But the underline for the nail is really defined where the top has no nail line at all. So it kind of looks like, you know, endless fingernail there at the top. But again, you're really not going to notice it unless you're really looking for it. It's just something that I kind of was looking for. And then the finger there is kind of why I noticed it, because right there you can see a bit of the indent for where they do have some actual nail sculpting in them. And I thought that maybe these would just be, you know, redos or recast, you know, magnetic re-releases. This is how they connect onto the Ultimate Chucky, is the magnet in there. But I thought maybe these would just be redos of the original Chucky hands or the plush Chucky hands. And no, these seem to be all new sculpts, and here they are compared with the actual original Ultimate Chucky hands. So this one right here is the grippy hand, the magnetic grippy hand for the knife for Ultimate Chucky, and again, this is the Ultimate hand. You can see where the skin tones are a bit different, so that is something that's really nice, the fact that they included these. Skin tones are a little bit different, they compensated for that on these hands. And yeah, you can see just kind of, you know, they are very similar. Like, they both look like Chucky hands. They don't look like they're made from different manufacturers. Like, the fact that, you know, these go together, this is a different style of what's ostensibly the same hand, is very, very nice. So also, if for whatever reason you ever wanted to have one of these hands on the doll and maybe just a regular good guy doll hand, I don't know your life or why you would want to do that, but you totally could do that. But it'd be totally fine. This hand would just be kind of a little bit pink there with its skin tone. So there is those hands compared. And not that there's any really much of a difference outside of it being a fist, but here's the other hand compared with the fist hand. So again, you're not really going to get much difference. You can kind of, you know, see what it's like when he's, you know, he's not buff Chucky yet, but, you know, we're moving up to that. But yeah, there is the fist hand compared to a good guy hand. Now for the look at the entree. This is the actual good guy Tommy head. And the likeness of this to the actual Tommy sculpt in the movie is beautiful. Now back here he does have a lot of long hair. We'll talk about the long hair in a minute when we talk about all over the detail with the head here, but the likeness to this to Child's Play 2 is just wonderful. Here it is compared to actual screen used dolls from the movie. And yeah, it is just insane how close this thing actually resembles the Tommy head, or at least that good guy doll head from Child's Play 2. You know, the good guy doll from Child's Play 2 is so very specific. It's something that folks really pointed out when they announced the original good guy doll and it was marketed for Child's Play 2, but it kind of had more of a Child's Play 1 vibe. I think folks were willing to kind of let it slide because we were all just excited to get a good guy doll, but now it's really, really nice to pretty much have both styles represented in plastic form. And for folks who might be actually curious about that, here is a comparison between the Child's Play 2 good guy doll and the Child's Play 1 good guy doll. So in these photos here you can see some pretty good differences. You can see where the original good guy doll had like a pretty hyperactive smile on him, where the Child's Play 2 good guy doll kind of had a more like regular, I don't want to say a complacent face, but something that's much more casual. The eyelids lay a bit different, the skin tones are a little bit different, and the main thing that I've always noticed is the shape of the mouth. It's really in the mouth where it's not a complete smile. Again, it's just kind of casual in the way he's kind of blankly staring at you that makes the Child's Play 2 good guy just a little bit more creepy. And so this head was credited as to have been developed by Garrett Zima. And obviously, if you're watching my video, you have to know who Garrett Zima is. He is the aficionado, official guy who works on Chucky dolls. He obviously knows every single difference between every single doll. And if anyone's able to make a spitting image Child's Play 2 doll, it would definitely be him. And so I just have to say to Garrett and everybody who had a hand in working on this, absolutely thank you. It's stunning. And I don't know if this was made using a movie mold or a recast mold, or if this was made using anything directly from the movie. I have seen him kind of hint towards it on social media, but I've not seen that confirmed at all. But either way, absolutely incredible likeness. I love it. And so to have physical representation of what many would consider to be like the pinnacle of Child's Play and Child's Play 2, this thing just knocks it right out of the park. And so the paint and skin tone on this I think are really, really nice. He's not as tan as the original good guy doll, and he's not as pale as maybe the plush or maybe even the original stock Ultimate Evil Chucky. He just has a really nice even complexion to him that is part of the reason I really like it. And the hair is also really nice out of the box. So he has these bangs that are kind of, you know, tending, you can obviously throw them in the face, and you know, the Tommy hair is longer than the hair should be. But again, if you remember the original doll from 2019, the doll's hair is a little too short. So lately the dolls have been coming with a little bit more hair, which is again great. It's easier to cut some hair than to add it. So this hair actually is pretty decent. I think you'd only have to take a little bit off the back. You'll really kind of notice that once it's on the doll. But again, the stock hair that these are coming with, again, it's kind of sad this is the end of the line, because when it comes to stuff like that, it just really gets better and better with each release. And obviously, being an Ultimate Chucky doll from ToTS, he does have the actual eye moving mechanism. So you come back here, split the back of the cranium off like every other release. You're going to set that to the side. Come back here, and you've got this freaky deaky setup in here. You've got that post with the actual stems that go into the eyeballs and all that fun stuff. So, and you can come here, and like everything else, you can move his eyes. So obviously it's a great feature. A Chucky doll automatically gets 100 times creepier when you can move his eyes. So always a wonderful addition. And that kind of look right there with the side eye is one of the main things that's really good about these, because with that, obviously, you can recreate this wonderful moment from the movie.
Hi, I'm Tommy, and I'm your friend to the end.
Which has always really stood out to me as just, I don't know, it's always been one of my favorite quick moments. Just very, very goofy. But you can get some really good expressive eyes out of this. Really make it feel like he's following you. He can look up and down a good bit. He doesn't have too much restriction on the inside. Definitely not the way the Pizza Face did. At least on my version. I think that was exclusive to mine. At least how my Pizza Face eyes were kind of unaligned. But again, I was able to fix it. And I didn't see too many other folks that looked like that. A lot of them actually looked fine. So this one's totally fine. Don't have any worries with it out of the box. And they feel really smooth to actually be able to move. So again, obviously, always good to be able to have this eye moving system. And so the last thing I want to do here before we actually take a look at him assembled on his body is I want to do a little comparison. So we're going to get him up here with his compatriots. We'll start here because we've seen them together with his, his actual review, his most recent review. But this is Tommy with Pizza Face. So again, there's not much of a comparison as far as what's better or anything, but here's how they compare to each other. Here's how their skin tones look. Pizza Face is obviously very, very detailed in comparison with this gnarly gore, where Tommy is, again, our very standard good guy doll. It really depends on preference. But again, if you're looking for evil Chucky and good Chucky, this is really like the best set you could possibly get. And I think it's wonderful to have the complete both ends of the spectrum when it comes to Chucky. You know, the complete, innocent and just the demonic evil. And so speaking of demonic evil, to get him compared with the stock ultimate original Child's Play 2 Evil Chucky. I say that because I will never forget me mentioning in my reveal video of this that this looked more like Child's Play 3 than Child's Play 2 in my opinion. I got clowned for it, and ever since, a whole lot of people have come around and said, you know what, actually, yeah, that kind of looks like Child's Play 3, you're not wrong. But even still, it looks nice, and it can pull off a Child's Play 2. It's just the eyes, the skin tone, the mouth. If you're looking at what's on the box, you have Child's Play 2 with Child's Play 2. You have Evil Face and Good Guy. And I think together these guys look great. I think it's really cool to be able to have the alternating sets. You have the Evil and the Good Guy. You can actually flip between both of them. I think as a package, as a product, I think that's perfect. You know, not a lot of people can drop 500-600 bones every time they release an individual doll. Having something that you can buy, you know, much cheaper in an alternate head and being able to turn a doll into a different look of Chucky is just genius. So the fact that they were able to pull this off before the plug got pulled on the line is wonderful. But, you know, regardless, at the end of the day, I think it's really nice that we have all of these options for the Ultimate Chucky. And I'm actually super excited because of the hair, sculpt, and so much with this original Ultimate Chucky head I really, really liked. But I've actually gone ahead, and now I'll, you know, update this in the future videos, but I have a stock Ultimate head that I'm going to be kind of rehauling and trying my hand at customizing. So I've customized action figures, Transformers, stuff like that before. Never tried my hand at a Chucky doll, so we're going to be going for a stark Child's Play 2 look with this. So yeah, we're going to be developing even our own looks for the Ultimate doll, even if Trick or Treat Studios has unfortunately paused. But yeah, this is the Ultimate Tommy with Ultimate Chucky. And so here we have the Ultimate Chucky body ready for his new head. So this is kind of how I like to have him primed up. I think this just looks, again, really cool by itself. It just looks really cool of like, here's a base Good Guy doll or a base Chucky doll. How are you going to make it look? It's like Barbies for sociopaths. But we love it though, don't we? So to kind of prep him for his new parts here, we're going to unclip the button at the back of the collar, kind of lay it out like that at the base. We're going to do the same thing, kind of flip open and roll his, not like really roll them all the way, just kind of flip up his little cuffs on his hands, and you're going to grab those hands. So we have the actual Ultimate hands right here. They slide right onto the actual post system. They're a little tight, but nothing that actually feels like it's stressing or going to break it or anything like that. So make sure it's snug on there, rotate it, pull the arm and sleeve back down. Do the same thing to the other side there. Make sure he's all situated, at least in the arm department, and now he's ready for some head. You just kind of grab his dome here like everything else. He's got a magnet in the base, he's got a magnet at the top of the stem here in the neck. Just kind of set him on there, and kerthunk, you're almost done. Just pull up the collar here, make sure it is around the neck, not all the way around the neck. He doesn't wear a turtleneck, just make sure it's raised a little bit. Some Velcro in the back, and make sure that button clasp is clasped, and you are done. And that is Tommy on the actual full Ultimate body. And he was pretty before, but as a complete Good Guy doll ensemble, he is just beautiful. I love how this thing looks. Again, it kind of just makes the whole Ultimate doll set thing feel complete, because now we have every end of the spectrum from Evil Chucky to the goodest boy Chucky. Hell, he's not even technically Chucky, he's actually just some completely other guy. But regardless of if he's Tommy, or Chucky, or Polly, or Oscar, we're all gonna love him just the same. And so again, I've covered the actual Ultimate doll before. I'm not gonna get into the articulation or the actual movement of this body. You can check that out in the Ultimate review. But again, this is just pretty much how he looks as a full doll here. I love it. You can actually rotate the hands. You can do that. That's something a little different. I guess because they're new hands, you can still rotate them. Same thing with the head. You can actually rotate the head all the way around, so no worries there if you want to get some exorcist action, no problems. And if you turn him around here, kind of what I was saying earlier about the hair, it looks really good from the front, but it really is a party in the back. It really is. His hair comes down to like the middle of his back, which really isn't bad. Like, again, if somebody, just like Pizza Faces, somebody came up to me on the street, put a gun to my head, and said, you cannot change the hair on that doll, I would survive. This looks fine as Chucky. This is one of the better Chucky hairs right out of the box. But I am looking forward to, after the review, being able to kind of trim this up, clean it up a little bit, just again, make him look a little bit more Child's Play 2 clean. He's so very emotive. You can actually sit him down, do all the fun stuff. Everything you can do with the regular Ultimate Chucky, you can do that. You can still come back here, emote the eyes. The fact that you can actually get a Good Guy doll that's just a little bit creepy, just a little bit unsettling. A Good Guy doll that can do all the fun poses I think a lot of folks really wanted to do with the original is very, very nice. Some folks may be mad. Some folks may feel that you bought the same doll twice. I don't think so. Again, the dolls look different. I can see most of the differences between Child's Play 1 and Child's Play 2 Good Guys, so I'm fine with owning different dolls that do different things. And even though they had released other Good Guys, I'm very glad that of the two headsets that we did get from Trick or Treat Studios before the end was Pizza Face and this. Obviously, I would have really loved a Curse of Chucky stitched head, but this really needed to exist. Tommy, or I guess Child's Play 2 Good Guy, is frankly iconic when it comes to the Chucky series, so to have this in plastic is chef's kiss. So speaking of those other dolls, before we're completely done here, I cannot end with a good guy doll without comparing him to the other good guy dolls. So these will be fairly quick comparisons, especially with the plush one. It's so very awkward. There's no real way to like stand him up. You have to use 2 stands. It sucks. But I still absolutely love the plush. Here is the plush good guy with the Tommy good guy doll, and kind of just pretty much how they stack up together as far as clothes differences, skin differences, eyes, anything you kind of want to see as far as them standing next to each other. There's a bit of it, I guess. It is a little bit different and unfair because my plush is not 100% stock. It is, with the replaced hair. I did a whole video on that. So this is not exactly how the plush ToTS doll looks when you get it. But even still, I think you get a pretty good idea of how they stack up here. A regular one pretty much has some decent cake. This one back here, he has got like this thing at the front for a weight. It's funny. But yeah, I've always loved both of them. I think, again, both of them serve a different purpose. You have a posable foam body here, and the fact that you actually have a ragdoll Chucky that you can throw around, that you see him in most shots of the movies. Really nice to be able to just kind of like grab him and not feel like you have to really kid glove it. And so for anybody out there that's still looking for which good guy to pick up, hopefully this right here kind of helps. If you want to pause the video again, don't know if it's the perfect shot, but again, here's how 2 good guys look next to each other. And obviously I could not end this without the proper comparison of where we're ending and where we started. This is the ultimate Tommy compared with Trick or Treat Studios' original Kickstarter good guy doll. It's very nice to just see them together, and just the way I kind of allocate everything in my brain when it comes to these releases. It's just been so fun actually going through them, and so I just really wanted to end the final comparison here, especially with good guy dolls. Here is Trick or Treat Studios' first good guy doll, and here is the current final in Trick or Treat Studios' good guy doll lineup. This is progress, ladies and gentlemen. I love how they look together. It's been a hell of a ride, and I absolutely love the fact that we did get Tommy. And seeing all 3 of them compared to each other, I think ultimately the one that gives me everything I want out of a Chucky doll is Tommy. This one is always going to have my love, have my nostalgia. He was a holy grail. He's something that was a dream come true. I always wanted a 1-to-1 scale good guy doll, and then we got it. But to take off those rose-tinted glasses and everything and look at everything as like a presentation as far as like, what you're buying, what you're getting, this one really just pulls it all off. It might be some recency bias, don't get me wrong, it might be, but to compare all 3 good guy dolls, every single one offers you a different offering when it comes to good guys, but if you're looking at it as just good guys, I think the Tommy really, really delivers it. And yes, I don't know why he wouldn't. You can use all of the good guy doll accessories that most people got for the first release on the Tommy. Now, these things never showed up in well, the batteries kind of did. But this other stuff didn't really show up in Child's Play 2, but hey, who cares? You can put the bib and the fun hat on Tommy. You can also give him this. I don't think ToTS made this. I think this is from Spirit. It's like a rubber bloody ruler, but you could give him that too. Why not? Child's Play 2, baby. Like, let's go. And so here we are, and I wanted to end this with the road so far. This is the first Trick or Treat Studios Chucky doll release with everything up until the final. And I really wanted to end this review and talk about it a little bit because, one, if I started to talk about it in the beginning of the review, people would have fast forwarded through it. I know folks are probably tired of hearing me talk about ToTS and the Chucky license. I get it. But I just really needed to touch on it one last time in this video because it really is like cathartic for me. The whole thing that Trick or Treat Studios did, these dolls, this line of dolls, is something that in my wildest dreams of collecting, I never thought would or could happen. I started collecting when I was 11 or 12 in like 2007, and back then obviously I was working off allowance money, but that was a point in time where horror was kind of dying. The late 2000s was not a good time for horror. At that point, even the Chucky series was kind of considered maybe even dead. It was right after Seed. Nothing really new was happening. The Sideshow doll was already out and gone. The Medicom dolls had already come out and gone years prior. There just wasn't a lot. Even the movie Maniacs and Cult Classics and Cinema of Fear action figure lines were pretty much starting to round down. I pretty much missed out on all that stuff. It was, looking pretty abysmal. And I got by because I collect a lot of other stuff, Transformers, robots, Marvel Legends. I do have other stuff and other avenues in which I collect, but the main thing that was always a holy grail for me back in the day, something that I never thought I'd be able to own for anything less than like $5,000, was going to be a somewhat decent good guy doll. And so when I go all of those years, and then finally somebody gets a hold of me and asks me, hey, did you hear what Trick or Treat Studios is doing? And I had heard of ToTS here and there, but I wasn't super invested into them. I don't know if I'd even bought anything from them before, but they told me, hey, they're making a Chucky doll. The person who told me about it knew that I was really into Chucky and I had always wanted a good guy doll, and they knew that'd be a big deal for me. And sure enough, I followed everything that I could with that original good guy doll Kickstarter. I was all over it. I even went in on the highest tier. I wanted to make sure, like, no matter what, I was getting this thing and like in the best way possible. So I think mine is 24 of 50. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to double check the sticker. But yeah, mine came with like the little signed plaque thing, or paper plaque that's signed by Brad Dourif and Chris Zeffiro. Just super cool. I absolutely loved it. And I thought when that Good Guy doll came out, I thought that was it. I thought we were going to get that and moving on. I had all these thoughts of like, well, they can never make a Stitch Chucky at retail because the amount of detail and sculpt would just be way too much. There's no way they'd be able to do it. And then they actually started to tease that they were making a Seed Chucky. And I pretty much freaked out. I couldn't like believe that, oh my god, I might actually get a Good Guy doll and then a Stitch Chucky, because you know, me growing up in the early to mid 2000s, Stitch Chucky was Chucky. That's how he always looked for me. And then somehow I never ever thought that they would be able to make a Tiffany and a Glenn, and here they are. Like, this is what I mean by, like, we're spoiled. I cannot believe, when they got teased that they were actually going to be released. I thought maybe they were going to be Kickstarter exclusives, only made to order, because I just can't believe they made a Glenn and put it on retail. Like, it's insane, because Seed of Chucky was just so shunned. Even NECA wasn't allowed to include a little baby Glenn with their Bride of Chucky 2-pack, but sure enough, ToTS was able to get a full-scale Glenn onto the market. And this is before everybody was cool with Gigi again after the TV series. And they just never stopped. And it probably is because of people like me. We just kept buying them. But I wanted a plush Good Guy doll so I would not be terrified to actually handle one of these ones. We got the plush one. We got different looks. They actually gave us the interchangeable doll system. Just so much came from Trick or Treat Studios line. And really the important thing here is because this channel here where I have spent a lot of time talking about these dolls, where I've talked to you and been able to share these dolls and really just talk about Chucky with you all. These dolls are why Fizz TV exists. Point blank, that is the reason. I created Fizz TV at a point in my life where I needed a space, I needed something where I could talk to people and just express my passions. No bitterness, no negativity, just unabashed, this is what I want to talk about, this is what I want to share with people, and find people that want to share that too. And if you go back to the original videos on this channel, I believe the second video on this channel is my review for the Stitch Chucky. I wouldn't recommend you watch it, I should probably redo it. It's a little poor compared to what I like to do now, and I'm really nervous in it. But I would not have made that video or this channel if I didn't have these dolls that I just had this burning feeling, this need to be able to talk to people about them. I don't know if it would have happened. And again, it's not even about brand loyalty. Again, I don't even know if I bought really anything from ToTS before these dolls. Any company could have done it, because that's the other thing. So many companies had the Chucky license for years, decades even, before they even thought about making 1-to-1 scale replica dolls. And I'm sorry, but it wasn't until Trick or Treat Studios proved you can make a damn good Chucky doll at retail that everybody else flocked in and wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So, give flowers where they are due. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I have to give Trick or Treat Studios their flowers, because they're the ones that had the nuts to be able to do this, and they're the ones that just fulfilled a collector's dream for me, honestly. So much so that I just felt the need to create a YouTube channel and talk to you guys about it. So at the end of the day, I'm always going to, love this line. You gotta be happy that it happened, not sad that it ended, right? And I always wonder about the releases that could have happened or ones that they wanted to do. Again, Stitch Chucky from Curse is my #1 choice. I absolutely wish we would be getting that, but unfortunately. So that's the main reason I just couldn't help but to talk about it, is because I just have this, I don't know, debt that I feel like I owe, because, without these dolls, I wouldn't be Fizz, and I wouldn't be on Fizz TV right now talking to you guys about these dolls. And Fizz TV is a space that I feel very happy with, I feel very safe in. With it, I've been able to join this incredible Chucky community that frankly has welcomed me. And it's been such a joy and just an honor to be able to be in this space. Horror fans are some of the best and nicest people you can meet. So I'm very glad to be here. I talk all of this as if I'm gonna be ending. Fizz TV is not done. I actually like to think that I'm just getting started. So the fact that I can be here with these and speaking to you and just sharing that love for Chucky, there's nothing more I could ask for. I am endlessly thankful. And to finish it up with Tommy here, I think is absolutely a wonderful choice. Child's Play 2 Good Guy doll is completely iconic. Finishing up here with something that was crafted by the fucking man, Garrett Zima, is just wonderful. I think Trick or Treat Studios knocked it out of the park with what I believe is the most satisfying exclamation point to the Ultimate Chucky line. But what do you guys think of Tommy? Are you satisfied with him? Are you skipping him? Do you have any questions about him? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, feel free to hit me up over there on Instagram at DudeSpooter. I don't get to spit out videos here as much as I would like, but I do get to kind of update and post some pics and kind of interact over there and just really talk some Chucky with y'all. If you enjoyed, hit that like button and subscribe for more Chucky coverage coming at you in the near future. I'm very excited about the future here. So until that next time, guys, my name is Fizz, and this has been the 1-to-1 scale ultimate Tommy head and hand set and the entirety of the 1-to-1 scale Trick or Treat Studios Chucky lineup. Thank you so much for watching.
His name